The morning was bright and clear as Sam and Lyra packed for a day at the beach. Sam filled the beach bag with essentials: sunscreen, towels, a frisbee, and a small cooler filled with snacks. "Have you ever been to a beach before?" Sam asked as he checked off items on his mental list. Lyra shook her head, her eyes bright with curiosity. "No, never. I've seen images and read about Earth's oceans, but I've never experienced one. What's it like?" "It's amazing," Sam enthused, handing her a bottle of sunscreen. "The ocean can be calm and soothing, but also wild and exhilarating. The beach is great for relaxing, playing, or just enjoying nature." Lyra smiled, her excitement palpable. "What do people usually do at the beach?" "Well, there are a lot of activities. Some people like to swim, others sunbathe, play beach volleyball, or just walk along the shore. We can try a bit of everything if you like," Sam explained as he slung the beach bag over his shoulder. "That sounds wonderful," Lyra replied, her voice filled with anticipation as they headed out the door. The drive to the beach was filled with Lyra asking questions about ocean life, coastal ecology, and human beach activities. Sam enjoyed her curiosity, explaining the tides, marine biodiversity, and the importance of sunscreen. When they arrived, the beach was bustling with families and groups enjoying the sunny day. Lyra stepped onto the sand, pausing to let it sift through her toes. "It feels so different," she observed, a smile spreading across her face. Sam laughed. "Wait until you feel the water." He led her to a spot near the water's edge, spreading out a large beach towel before guiding her to the shoreline. "Ready?" he asked as the first wave approached. Lyra nodded, and they stepped forward together. The cool water washed over their feet, causing Lyra to gasp in delight. "It's cold but nice," she said, looking down as another wave rolled in, stronger this time, splashing against their legs. "It gets warmer the more you swim," Sam said, encouraging her to wade deeper. "Here, let's get you used to the water." They ventured further until the water reached their waists. Lyra's initial apprehension gave way to exhilaration. "I could get used to this," she admitted, splashing some water towards Sam. Sam splashed back gently, laughing. "How about a swimming lesson?" Lyra nodded eagerly. "Yes, please." Sam taught her the basics of floating and kicking. Lyra was a quick learner, and soon they were laughing and splashing in the shallows, enjoying the refreshing embrace of the ocean. After some time, they returned to their towel to dry off and reapply sunscreen. Sam handed Lyra a sandwich from the cooler. "Beach food tastes better," he claimed. Lyra took a bite, looking out over the water. "Everything is more vibrant here. The sounds, the air, the colors. It's like discovering a new sense." Sam watched her with a warm smile, pleased to see her so happy. "There's a lot more to see and do. I think you're going to love it here." As they ate, they planned the rest of their day, talking about building a sandcastle, exploring the tide pools, and maybe even trying to fly a kite. The beach offered endless possibilities, and with each new experience, Lyra's fascination with Earth deepened, her bond with Sam growing stronger amidst the sand and waves. As Lyra and Sam finished their snack, Sam pointed towards the stretch of water sparkling under the sun. "Ready to really feel the ocean?" he asked with a grin. Lyra nodded, her eyes wide with anticipation. "I'm ready. It's so vast and beautiful." They left their belongings on the towel and walked towards the water. The sand became cooler and wetter as they approached the shoreline. "The first step is getting used to the water temperature," Sam explained as they reached the edge where waves gently rolled onto the sand. Lyra hesitated for a moment, watching the foam form and retreat with each wave. Sam took her hand. "It's all right. The water's great once you're in. Just take it one step at a time." Encouraged by his reassurance, Lyra stepped forward, letting the water wash over her feet. The coolness made her gasp, but she smiled. "It's refreshing." "Wait until you get deeper. It's even better," Sam encouraged. They walked further into the sea, the water rising steadily up their legs. When it reached her waist, Lyra jumped slightly with a laugh as a wave splashed against her. "It's lively," Sam laughed along with her. "The ocean has its moods. Today it's pretty gentle, perfect for your first time." They dipped lower, letting the water cover their shoulders. Sam showed Lyra how to float on her back, supporting her until she felt comfortable enough to try on her own. "Just relax and let the water hold you," he instructed. Lyra took a deep breath and leaned back into the water, her body buoyant. "I'm doing it?" she questioned, a tone of surprise in her voice. "You're doing it," Sam confirmed proudly. "See, you're a natural." With the basics down, they spent the next hour enjoying the water. Sam taught Lyra some simple swimming strokes, and they practiced together. Lyra's initial cautious strokes gradually became more confident and fluid. "This is wonderful," Lyra said, splashing water playfully towards Sam. "I never knew water could be this fun." Sam splashed back, and soon they were engaged in a light-hearted water fight, laughing and dodging in the shallow sea. "Told you the ocean was amazing," Sam said, catching his breath after a particularly large splash. As the sun climbed higher, they returned to shore to dry off and reapply sunscreen. Sitting back on their towel, Lyra watched the waves. "The ocean feels alive, like it's a part of Earth's soul," she mused, her eyes reflecting the shimmering water. "It's exactly that," Sam agreed, stretching out beside her. "It's a vital part of our world. Many poets and writers have said it better than I can." They spent the rest of the afternoon relaxing by the water's edge, building sandcastles and exploring nearby rock pools, discovering small creatures and talking about marine life. Each moment added depth to Lyra's understanding of Earth, and her fascination with the planet grew with each new experience shared with Sam. After their swimming lesson, Sam suggested another quintessential beach activity to Lyra. "How about we try building a sandcastle?" he proposed, bringing a playful aspect back into their day. Lyra looked intrigued and nodded enthusiastically. "I've seen pictures, but how does it work? Do you just pile up sand?" Sam chuckled as he led her back to where their beach towel was spread. He grabbed a few plastic buckets and shovels from his beach bag. "There's a bit of an art to it. I'll show you the basics, and then you can add your own alien flair to it." They found a spot near their towel where the sand was just damp enough to hold shape. Sam demonstrated how to fill the bucket with sand, pack it down firmly, then flip it over to form a tower. "The trick is in how you pack the sand," he explained. Lyra followed his instructions, carefully packing the sand into her bucket. With a focused expression, she flipped it over, and to her delight, a perfect sandy cylinder stood on the beach. "I did it!" she exclaimed, looking up at Sam with a proud smile. "You're a natural," Sam laughed, clapping his hands. "Now, let's build a whole castle." For the next hour, they worked together to construct a sandcastle complex, complete with walls, towers, and even a moat. Lyra creatively suggested they use seaweed for decoration and shells to line the pathways. "It's like being a child again, playing without any worries," she remarked, her eyes sparkling with joy. Sam nodded, fully engaged in the process. "Building sandcastles is a cherished activity for many here. It's not just for kids, though. It lets anyone tap into a simple joy and creativity." As they sculpted and carved, other beachgoers stopped by to admire their work, some offering tips or even joining in for a few minutes to help add details. The community aspect of beach culture shone through, and Lyra found herself enjoying the interactions, the shared smiles and laughter adding to her understanding of human social behaviors. With their sandcastle finished, Sam took a step back, admiring their handiwork. "Not bad for a day's work, huh?" Lyra beamed, taking pictures with her device. "It's wonderful. Thank you for teaching me this, Sam." They spent the remainder of the afternoon exploring the beach, collecting different types of shells. Lyra was fascinated by the variety and beauty of each shell, asking Sam about the creatures that once lived inside them. He explained as much as he could, sharing facts about mollusks and the role of shells in the ecosystem. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, they decided to gather their things. Watching the sunset, Lyra felt a profound sense of peace. "Earth is full of surprises and beautiful moments," she observed, her voice soft with emotion. Sam smiled, taking her hand as they started to walk back. "And there's so much more to show you. Each day here can be a new adventure." Their conversation lingered on the beauty of natural Earth as they left the beach, the image of their sandcastle slowly being washed away by the tide, a reminder of the day's transient yet impactful joys. Buoyed by the success of their sandcastle, Sam suggested they head back into the water, this time for a proper swimming lesson. Lyra, now more comfortable with the ocean's embrace, eagerly agreed. "Swimming is not just a skill, it's a way to truly connect with the water," Sam explained as they waded into the clearer, calmer part of the sea. The afternoon sun warmed their backs, casting sparkling reflections on the water's surface. "Let's start with floating," Sam suggested, demonstrating by laying back in the water, his arms spread wide. "The key is to relax and trust that the water will hold you." Lyra watched him, then tentatively mimicked his posture. Feeling the buoyancy of the salt water, she gradually relaxed her body. A look of surprise and delight crossed her face as she found herself floating effortlessly. "It's like being cradled," she exclaimed, her voice tinged with wonder. Encouraged by her progress, Sam introduced her to basic swimming strokes. "Let's try the freestyle, also known as the front crawl," he said, showing her the coordinated movement of arms and legs. Lyra followed, her movements initially awkward but quickly gaining smoothness as she adapted to the rhythm. "You're doing great," Sam encouraged, swimming beside her as she practiced. Lyra's confidence grew, and soon she was moving through the water with increasing ease. As they took a break, floating gently in the shallows, Lyra turned to Sam, her eyes shining. "This is amazing, Sam. I never thought I'd be able to move through water like this. It feels freeing, almost like flying." "I'm glad you enjoy it," Sam replied, smiling. "Swimming is one of my favorite things to do at the beach. It's a perfect blend of exercise and relaxation." They spent the next hour practicing different strokes, with Sam teaching Lyra how to tread water and dive under the surface. Each new skill brought a sense of achievement and joy to Lyra, her enthusiasm palpable. As the sun began to dip toward the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of gold and pink, they decided to head back to shore. Wrapping themselves in towels, they sat on the warm sand, watching the sunset. "This day, it's been wonderful," Lyra said, leaning against Sam. "Learning to swim, building sandcastles, exploring the beach. It's all been incredible." Sam wrapped an arm around her. "There's something special about sharing what you love with someone new to it. You see it all again through fresh eyes. And you, Lyra, have made today unforgettable." As the last light of the day faded, they packed up their belongings and headed home, their spirits high with the day's successes. Lyra's curiosity and eagerness to learn about Earth's wonders had turned an ordinary beach day into an extraordinary adventure, deepening the bond between them and enriching their shared journey on Earth. With Lyra now comfortable in the water, Sam decided it was the perfect time to introduce her to snorkeling. "The ocean is beautiful from the shore, but it's even more incredible from underneath," he said, pulling 2 sets of snorkeling gear from his beach bag. Lyra examined the mask and snorkel with interest. "It's like being an explorer in another world," she remarked, her voice tinged with excitement. "Exactly," Sam agreed, showing her how to adjust the mask and explaining how to breathe through the snorkel. "It might feel a bit odd at first, but you'll get the hang of it quickly." They waded into the water, the gentle waves lapping against their waists. Once they were deep enough, Sam gave Lyra a nod, and they both put their faces in the water. Immediately, the underwater world came alive for Lyra. Schools of colorful fish darted back and forth, and vibrant coral formations sprawled across the ocean floor. "It's beautiful!" Lyra's muffled voice came through her snorkel, her excitement visible in the way she pointed at a passing fish. Sam led her to a particularly lush area of the reef, where anemones clung to rocks and small creatures hid in the crevices. He pointed out different species, explaining their roles in the marine ecosystem. Lyra listened intently, every so often reaching out to gently touch the smooth texture of a coral or follow a fish with her finger. As they floated over the reef, Sam noticed Lyra's fascination with a small octopus camouflaging itself among the rocks. He explained how it used its surroundings for protection, much like the tactics used by some terrestrial animals. The exploration continued, and Lyra's initial awe turned into a thoughtful appreciation. "I knew Earth's oceans were alive, but seeing it like this, it's more complex and interconnected than I imagined," she said once they surfaced for a break. "It's why we need to protect it," Sam responded, his tone serious. "Everything you see is part of a delicate balance. Disruptions can have far-reaching impacts." Lyra nodded, her expression solemn. "It makes me think about how we can apply some of these lessons to my planet, too. Conservation isn't just a local issue, it's universal." As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the water, they made their way back to shore. Removing their snorkel gear, Lyra reflected on the experience. "Thank you, Sam. Today was enlightening. I've learned so much, not just about swimming, but about Earth itself." Sam smiled, packing up the gear. "I'm glad to hear that. These are just a few of the reasons I love the ocean so much." Walking back along the beach, their shadows long in the fading light, they talked about other marine environments Lyra might enjoy exploring. Each plan they made was another step deeper into their shared journey of discovery, a testament to the growing connection between them and the world they were exploring together. After their snorkeling adventure, both Sam and Lyra were ready for a quieter activity. Sam led them back to where they had set up their base on the beach. "I think it's time for a late lunch," he said, unveiling the surprise he had prepared earlier. A picnic. Lyra smiled, her stomach rumbling slightly at the thought of food. They approached the large blanket Sam had spread out, upon which he had arranged an array of dishes that were still cool from being stored in an insulated cooler. "Today's menu includes some of the best flavors our local coast has to offer," Sam announced, presenting the spread with a flourish. There was smoked salmon, fresh vegetable salad, artisan bread, and for dessert, fruit salad topped with a drizzle of honey. Lyra's eyes widened at the variety. "It all looks delicious," she exclaimed, taking a seat on the blanket. Sam joined her, handing her a plate. "Try the salmon first. It's locally caught and smoked just up the coast," he suggested. Lyra tasted a piece, her face lighting up with delight. "The flavor is amazing. It's so different from the preserved foods we usually have on my ship." Sam chuckled, pleased with her reaction. There's nothing like fresh local food. It's one of the joys of living so close to the sea. As they ate, they talked more about Earth's culinary diversity. Sam explained the concept of farm-to-table eating and how it benefits both the environment and local economies. Lyra listened intently, occasionally asking questions that showed her deep interest in sustainability. "It's similar to how we manage resources on my planet, though we rely more on cultivation than on natural ecosystems," Lyra shared, relating her own experiences back to what she was learning from Sam. After they finished eating, they packed up the remnants of their picnic and lay back on the blanket, watching the clouds drift lazily across the sky. The sound of the waves provided a soothing background noise that complemented their relaxed state. "This is perfect," Lyra said after a moment of silence. "The food, the ocean, the company, I feel so at peace." Sam turned to her, his expression soft. "I'm glad. It's days like these that remind us to slow down and appreciate the world around us." They spent the rest of the afternoon in leisurely conversation, discussing potential projects that could benefit from Lyra's insights into advanced technologies and sustainable practices. They brainstormed ideas on how they could integrate those technologies with Earth's environmental initiatives, excited by the possibilities of working together to make a difference. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the beach, Sam and Lyra packed up their belongings. They left the beach feeling refreshed and inspired, their bond strengthened by the shared experiences of the day and their mutual commitment to a better future. After packing up from their beachside picnic, Sam suggested they take a walk along the shore to fully appreciate the day's end. "The sunset at this beach is something you don't want to miss," he mentioned, guiding Lyra towards the water's edge. As they strolled, the sky began its gradual shift from the bright blue of day to the richer, deeper hues of twilight. Sam and Lyra watched in silence for a few moments, each lost in thought and the beauty of the natural spectacle unfolding before them. "It's incredible how the sky changes colors like this," Lyra observed, her eyes fixed on the horizon where orange and pink streaks painted the sky. "It's very different from the sunsets on my planet." "What are they like on your world?" Sam asked, genuinely curious about her experiences. "Much quicker, and the colors are more subdued. Our atmosphere filters the light differently," Lyra explained, then turned to Sam with a smile. "But I love both. There's something universally soothing about watching a day come to an end." Sam nodded in agreement, then took a deep breath of the salty air. Sunsets remind us that endings can be beautiful too, not just beginnings. As they walked, they discussed their day and shared their thoughts on everything from the importance of preserving natural habitats to the ways in which Lyra's technological insights could benefit Earth. It was a productive conversation that helped lay the groundwork for future projects they both were passionate about. "Today has been amazing," Lyra said, stopping to pick up a small, smooth stone from the sand. "I've learned so much, not just about the ocean and Earth's customs, but also about the impact we can have when we share knowledge and work together." "I feel the same," Sam replied, taking the stone from her hand and examining it. "Every day with you brings something new and exciting. It's like we're constantly building something great piece by piece." They continued their walk, occasionally stopping to watch as the waves lapped gently at the shore, pulling back with a soft hiss against the sand. The peaceful sound complemented their reflective mood, underscoring the tranquility of the evening. As the sun finally dipped below the horizon, they found a quiet spot to sit and watch the stars begin to appear. The fading light gave way to the first twinkles of the night sky, and the beach around them grew quiet, the bustle of the day fading away. "This is the perfect end to our day," Lyra murmured, leaning her head against Sam's shoulder. It is, Sam agreed, wrapping his arm around her. And it's just the beginning for us. There's so much more we can do together, for this planet and for the relationship between our worlds. They sat together under the emerging stars, planning, dreaming, and ready for whatever challenges and adventures lay ahead. The day at the beach had been more than just a series of fun activities. It had been a reaffirmation of their commitment to each other and to their shared goals. Under the emerging blanket of stars, Sam and Lyra sat close together on the cool sand, the gentle sounds of the ocean serenading them. The beach was quiet now, the daytime crowds long gone, leaving them alone with their thoughts and each other. Reflecting on the day's experiences, Sam turned to Lyra, his voice soft in the quiet of the evening. You know, being here with you, sharing all these firsts, it's made me think about our future, he said thoughtfully. Lyra, touched by his words, met his gaze, her expression serene. I've been thinking the same. We've explored so much together, learned so much from each other. It feels like we're just getting started. Sam nodded, his decision solidifying in his mind. I want to keep building on what we've started, both our relationship and our work together. I think we should consider creating something more formal. Maybe a foundation or a partnership that can foster these interstellar exchanges and promote conservation efforts. Lyra's eyes lit up at the suggestion, the possibilities spinning through her mind. A foundation? That's an excellent idea. We could combine our knowledge and resources to make a real difference. It could serve as a model for cooperation between Earth and other civilizations. Sam smiled, encouraged by her enthusiasm. Exactly. We could focus on environmental projects, educational programs, and maybe even cultural exchanges. It would be a way to extend what we've begun here, on this beach, to a broader scale. They discussed potential names and structures for their foundation, each idea building on the last. The Celestial Harmony Foundation resonated with both, capturing the essence of their mission to harmonize efforts across worlds. As they planned, a shooting star streaked across the sky, prompting them to pause and make a silent wish. When it passed, Lyra laughed softly. I wished for our foundation to succeed, to truly make an impact. I wished for the same, Sam confessed, squeezing her hand. With your vision and our combined efforts, I believe it will. Feeling a renewed sense of purpose, they continued to outline the first steps they would need to take to make their vision a reality. They discussed reaching out to their respective networks for support, finding experts in environmental science and interstellar relations, and drafting a mission statement that would clearly articulate their goals. As the night deepened, they slowly packed up their belongings, reluctant to leave the peaceful beach, but excited for the future. Walking back to the car, their steps were light, buoyed by the shared commitment to their new endeavor. This night, under these stars, it feels like a new beginning, Lyra said, her voice full of hope and determination. It is, Sam agreed, stopping to look back at the ocean one last time. And it's just the start. Together, we're going to create something amazing. With the beach behind them and the stars overhead, they drove home, their conversation brimming with plans and possibilities. The day at the beach had been perfect, not just for the fun and learning, but as a foundation for their future. A future they would build together, under the stars.